Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. Oh, good evening, and thank you so much for joining this section. I'm going to make this event as short as possible because I know that we had a very busy day today, and I just want this to be very quick, interactive, and also enlightening. So please, if you have any question, do not forget to have them prepared, as he would be our guest for today would be answering your question. So today, as you know, my name is Damilola Badmus, and I'm really thrilled to have you here. We are having a conversation on mastering the act of getting hired in the UK, and we are having insights from Future Connect. Now, Future Connect is a training organization that helps people lacking one skill or the other to prep them, do training so that they can be very valuable in the UK market. And today we have our guest, Abhishek here, who is the communications manager at Future Connect. So welcome, Abhishek. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm good, and thank you for inviting me for this audio event. And I'm really thankful for, and I'm really happy that I'll be able to answer all and every question that is going to come up today. And I'll try to answer from my best knowledge. And I'll rest assured, the information that I'll be providing you is coming from Future Connect directly, and will be trying to help each and every individual if possible. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So, Abhishek, I'm going to be as realistic as possible, and I really want to be the voice for many people, especially for Africans and Nigerians, because that's where I'm from, to be able to help them to be able to say what's on their mind regarding job opportunities, or question about why is the UK job market really difficult. So take for example, a lot of people have been having issues with getting jobs, even in as much as they have a graduate degree. So my first question to you is that why is it really difficult for people, either graduates or even dependents, why is it very difficult for them to get jobs in the UK?
Yes. So basically, let me start by telling you a little bit about the UK job market. So the market behaves a little bit different, and it is asking you for your reference in UK as well. So basically, let's say tomorrow I'm from India, by the way, and I'm coming from India. Again, I'm coming from India, and I have no experience. Let's say I'm coming fresh from India. I have no experience in the UK market, right? Now, the laws are different, first of all, which I am not aware about. That is one important thing to note here as well. Okay. The next thing is, not only the laws are different, I have not even worked in an environment. I only have worked in, let's say, back in India, I have worked in. I don't know how the market works here in terms of, how the corporate structure here is developed. So think of it from the perspective of an employer as well, and they're going to be asking you this question: have you worked in UK job market before? If you have not worked in UK job market, they might be skeptical, but that also changes depending on the position you have held back in the country as well. So let's say I was working in a conglomerate back in my country, then the structure is quite going to be similar there, and your chances of getting hired will increase dramatically. But at the same time, think of it from this angle as well, that you have worked in a conglomerate, a multinational organization in your own country, and then you're moving to a different country and you're aiming to work in small or medium scale enterprises, then the dynamics are going to be different, right? So these are some of the factors that makes getting hired for any individual coming from out of UK a little bit hard for them. And this is the reason that this is the reason how we are able to help individuals bridge that gap at Future Connect.
Great, great. I really agree with that because I also know that I had that challenge when I came into town, but my story is entirely different. There are some people that even came to the UK with a master to do their masters and hoping that okay, my master's degree is going to fetch me an opportunity. But then after their studies, they realize that getting the job is even another story entirely. So I'll move on to the second question, which is now we've talked about why there is that gap. So now what do you think are some of the key skills and some of the insight that UK employers are really looking for in potential employees?
Sure, absolutely. And now imagine that you are an employer looking for a candidate in UK.
Yeah.
So there are a couple of things that no training, no degree out there in the world can teach that individual. Those are the individual characteristics I'm talking about. So when I'm hiring, even I hire a lot of individuals at Future Connect as well. Now, when I'm hiring an individual, taking an interview of theirs, most of the time I'm looking for additional characteristics and how well that person is paying attention to my questions as well. Are they able to connect the dots as well, or how deep they are able to think irrespective of their knowledge set as well? So you have to develop your characteristics in terms of listening to their questions, and at the same time thinking outside the box as well, because one important thing here to note is those skills, like let's say accountancy skills, let's say your marketing skills, those skills can be taught to any individual out there, right? Now, additional these characteristic skills, they cannot be taught that easily. It takes time to develop. So when I'm hiring someone, I'm looking for these additional characteristics at the end of the day, because I know that if a person is missing in knowledge here and there, I can train them, I can teach them tomorrow. And that is how the market behaves generally as well.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. If you're just joining this conversation, we just started, so you haven't missed much. We basically talked about what the challenge is between employers and the potential employees. And so far, Abhishek has been able to talk about some things that if you are an employer, most times put yourself in a position of being an employer and you're seeking out for employees. One of the main things they really look out for is additional characteristics. So aside from your degree certificates, many of these employers are looking for additional skills, and that has to do with what you bring to the table. And I'll use myself as an example. When I did my training with Future Connect, I got to know them or from Google, and then I had a free consultation with them. I did the course. It was really fantastic, I must say. I paid for the course, so it's not like it was a free course or something. I paid for it. And at the end of the day, the course that I did really opened doors for me because not only did that course give me the training and the skills that I required, but it also added as a job experience. So that's one of the advantages of working with studying with Future Connect. So before I go on to my next question, I have somebody here who would probably want to ask a question. And can we have Ikena?
Yes. Good evening, everyone.
Hi, good evening.
Okay, I'd like to cut the chase. I have a question. I'd like to know, yes, skill sets and abilities are quintessential to most job or most employers. They require one to acquire or have a particular set of skill. My question is, how can I switch or what do I need to do aside my qualification so that I can be a best fit for you? Thank you.
Yes, that is a very good question. And to be honest, you have to think it from this perspective as well, that what are the characteristics that you would look for when you are running a particular type of organization? So, for instance, um in a corporate world, they always state couple of things. Like if you look at job descriptions of these MNCs, you're finding those same things written again and again and again, that is team player, and should know this, should be able to do appeal to the stakeholders, should be able to easily answer to the stakeholder questions. Now these are some of the things that are not teachable to anyone, right? But you need confidence to handle those things at the same time. Now if you're looking at from the perspective of a small medium scale enterprise, they're looking for the similar things as well, but they're not always coming out and telling you that, hey, we're looking for this particular type of individual characteristics. So now the question is the same question that you asked: what should I do? What additional skills should I build up? So my recommendation is just be confident. Like let me give you an example. When I'm not sure if you guys know, generally what happens is, when they're conducting interviews for air hostesses, the air stewards, they just make them sit in a room and they ask them questions, random questions. So what is the color of the wall behind you? Now you have to apply common sense at certain position, at certain places. Like for example, in this example, you have to apply common sense. The color of the wall is might be the same as the color you're looking at in front of you as well, because generally walls are painted in the same color four directions, right? So you just applied your common sense, analytical thinking, and you answered with confidence. So that is a very thin line. Applying confidence and at the same time utilizing those analytical skills within a given period of time. That 5 second window is all you will get. And that will change your luck from yes to no or no to yes. So, my recommendation is try to be very attentive and try to listen more and think more at the same time, so you can answer those questions within 5 to 10 seconds of time, and you're thinking creatively at the same time as well. Now these things, it will take a bit of time, I do understand that. It takes a bit of time to develop that sort of a habit, but the thing is, even if you're answering wrong, think of it from this perspective that you are confident. No matter what happens, you have to answer that question, you have to stay confident. You cannot show that you do not know this answer. Even if you're wrong, that's fine, you're wrong, people are wrong most of the time. So what? But you have to still make sure that you are extremely confident right then and there. That is one thing that I could advise you right away. Yeah.
Sorry, before Ike and I jump in, I just want to have access question that has to do with, there is one part to having the interview, right? And there is an other struggle for you to even get that interview. I'm talking about skills. So imagine someone that has been building a skill set, surely doing a lot of certifications from Skillshare to Udemy to Coursera, even to a lot of courses. Now, one thing I know about the UK market with my experience and with the experience of other people is that they just need that one job, want that employment or that's part of your CV that says that you have worked with social organization. So this question now boils down to, what if I don't have that experience? Because obviously you need a job first for you to be able to enter into the market. So what if you don't even have that job at all? What are you supposed to do in that instance?
Yes. So in that scenario, well, let's start with the part one of this question. So that was which sort of certification, like a person should pursue for these additional skills, right? Now, any certification is good for you. It doesn't matter where that certification is coming from, but the point here is how are you going to justify that? And the second part of the question that you asked me, how can they get into that first role? That first role is going to be a justification. Now to tackle that, there are many ways. You can work as a trainee, you can work as an intern as well, to justify that yes, you have learned those skills, you have applied it somewhere. So at the end of the day, what people are looking for is not just the certification, but they want this information as well. Have you applied that knowledge? Because your degree is also a certification. At the end of the day, you have a degree, but do you actually know how to get it done? And that can come from internships, that can come from placements as well. You can have a placement year during your university time, and universities have added this placement year just because individuals were facing problems later down the line in getting a job, and this really helps them, helps students as well in getting a job later down the line. So the first job securing thing could be your internship, it could be your training side, and in terms of your certificate, that is going to completely depend on you, where you want to take it from, because the value of that certification changes depending on the sector you're going ahead in. So, for instance, if you are going ahead with a certification in accountancy from, let's say, on top of my head, I could say Udemy, that is not going to be that much beneficial. Compare that to AAT, there's a huge difference, right? So it depends again this on based on the sector.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Ikena, do you have any more question?
No, thank you so much. That's all for now.
Thank you. Can we go on to Yinka?
Hi, Damilola. Thank you so much for passing the mic. Abhishek, thank you for the insights that you've shared so far. I will just state for the record, while I'm not necessarily a job seeker, I'm listening to you with my son, who will be a job seeker in a couple of years' time. He's still at school at the moment. But my question backed off of one of the answers that you gave previously, where you spoke about the importance of being the right fit candidate. And I wanted to ask the question around the importance of seeking out organizations that fit in line with your values, because there's a lot to be said for not changing who you are in order to fit into an organization if you're actually going to be there and be there sustainably and happy. So I was just interested if you could share some insights on that particular point, because so many job seekers, in order to try and get the job, will seek to kind of change who they are, how they show up, and ultimately it isn't just to get the job, it's also to thrive in the job. So I'd be interested to hear your perspective on that.
Most certainly. So let me start off with a very recent example that went trending, I believe, in last couple of days. So on Reddit, there was this image posted of a job posting, and it was UK job posting, where they clearly mentioned that we are only hiring vegans, and it went viral. So at the end of the day, your question is about the same thing as well. Like, you know, how do you fit yourself in an organization? How do you find that out as well? If I'm if I've got your question right, then I would suggest that just follow the organization around on their different channels. See if there is, if what they're offering, would you be able to fit in that organization? Because the point here is, from the outside, each and every organization looks like, hey, that is going to be my dream job. For instance, Google, I believe they have a office in near Houston or something. The new building just opened a couple of years back. Now, we all dream of working at Google, right? But have you ever thought, would an individual be able to adjust? Like, all individuals would be able to adjust and take on that sort of a stress and workload. The environment in there from outside looks appealing, amazing, but until you join that company, until you have had your daily task or monthly targets, you would never get into that mindset that, hey, am I even the right fit for this place, until you try things out, until for instance, your son, who's going to be a job seeker later down the line, until he tries things out as well, or anyone, you would never know. if that organization is going to be a great fit for you, because at the end of the day, all organizations are depicting that, hey, we have this, we have that, you have like in 1 year you get this one day off for nature, planting trees or something like that, for social care and all that. And we have Fridays off as well, like you can take off early in on Fridays. But what if your boss gives you a deadline on Thursday evening that you have to complete by end of this week? Will you be able to leave Friday evening early, even though that is part of the company's guidelines, their rules? So it depends on the position as well. It depends on until and unless you join, you won't know that sort of a scenario either. So yeah, just keep this thing in mind. You have to try and test out a couple of things before you can make that judgment. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Abhishek. Yinka, I hope he was able to answer your question.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for your insights, Abhishek. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, Abhishek. So moving on to the next question before we have Moses. Now, talking about CVs and cover letters, this is a very big topic, and I'm very sure you know about this situation as well, where we keep applying for jobs back to back, from Indeed to Read to CV Library to LinkedIn. So many of us are always having the challenge of, okay, you're still redrafting your CV. And I know one thing, I just want you to clarify this before this main question. Now, talking about recruiters and agencies, I know that there are a lot of companies that like to work with agencies rather. That means agencies will be the ones to go through the candidate's profile, and then at the end of the day, if they've seen a qualified candidate, they can now pitch it to the organization. So now, talking about CVs and cover letter, do you think that there is a way employees should structure their CV for them to get noticed?
Absolutely. And let me give you a very logical answer on that. So let's say it is okay, it is 6:27 at the moment, right? You apply for a job at this moment. Let's say for next 2 hours, you're applying for jobs back to back, back to back, back to back. In some of the positions you have applied for, within 10 minutes, you receive a rejection email. Now you're receiving that rejection email. Is it because someone is sitting at let's say 8:30 p.m. and he's looking at your CVs and he's saying, "Ah, no, I'm rejecting it," or that person is actually looking at 150 CVs in 2 hours of time and then he's saying that, "No, I'm rejecting this person"? It doesn't generally work like that for most of the companies. What they're doing right now is they're using some automation tools and they are looking at the keywords that have been added into the CV, right? So when the keywords are matching with the criteria that these guys have mentioned as well, then your CV might be going in for the second review, and then the recruiter is going to be looking into the CV and then the cover letter. Now this has been happening from last over 1 year, I believe. And sometimes when you get rejections like this, well, this is the reason why you're getting this sort of a rejection. And just make sure that your keywords are on point when you're applying for any sort of a job, so you don't get that first denial, and at least an actual human being is looking at your CV. That is the most important thing. To beat the system, you have to utilize the keywords. Now the thing is, where are you going to get those keywords from? Well, the simplest answer I can give you is just look at the job description. Go through things that are, that has been stated as, hey, this is the ideal quality we're looking for. Like let's say Excel skills. Now, not just Excel skills, but within that you might have pivot tables or VLOOKUPs or something like that. So if you add that, then the keywords are going to be matching, and this is definitely going to help you in getting to the interview round, at least, or at least that any human is going to have a look at your CV. And this is the most important thing that we are doing here at Future Connect when we help build individual CV as well. We have decoded this thing, and this is how we're able to get a lot of interviews for our candidates.
Okay, great. I think I would like to buttress on the point of the CV. So when I was using my CV before Future Connect actually revamped my CV for me, I was getting rejections a lot. So when I submitted my CV for review and they gave my CV back to me, I was shocked. First of all, what before my own CV had my skills part towards the end of the CV, but what Future Connect did was after my name, after my personal summary, my skills were highlighted first. And now when you see my skills were up to 20. So any recruiter that even goes through my CV or my resume, the first thing they get to see is a pile of my a pile of my skills like sage, communication, all of those skills that are very relevant in the workplace. So yes, thank you, Abhishek. Can we have Ikena?
Okay. Thank you for having me again. I'd like Abhishek to speak more, throw more lights on the CV revamping. Like to get some insights on what should be on the CV or what should not be on the CV. Also, I understand that AI is actually taking most of the space now. Like everything is AI. Before it used to be have your CV ATS worthy. That is, your CV should be able to go through ATS and have a high score. So I would like to get an insight into that. Thank you.
Yes, definitely. So let me give you this answer with an example here, right? We'll compare two CVs, two different individual profiles here. So the first profile, let's compare an accounting one with a person who is in IT sector. So let's say they're a machine learning engineer, which I am as well. So when I'm applying for jobs, personally, when I am applying for jobs, what would I look at? I would look at what an individual is asking. So let's say what the company is asking, right? So now I know that my skill set matches what they are asking as well. Fine, but there are certain keywords missing. So I will tweak those keywords into my CV, and then I will make sure that I can at least beat the automation system. The same goes for the accountancy CV as well. Now the first part is done. We have beaten the system. The second part over here is what should I display on my CV. Now as a machine learning engineer, I would add definitely my LinkedIn profile, but the accounting person is going to do that as well. Now, apart from that, I will add my GitHub repository link on my CV as well, but the accounting person is not going to do that, right? Now, based on the sectors, certain things are going to change. Like for instance, I will add my projects as well, but for the accounting person, they're going to highlight the softwares. But the point here is, if the person is if the person has already optimized their CV in terms of to beat the system, then these keywords, sage, these keywords like Excel, or we have QuickBooks, Zero. These softwares are already going to be added there in some way or the other. So when you're optimizing CV, make sure you're paying attention to these things. And then when you're paying attention to the first part of it, beating the system, most of the things will be done for you right there, then and there, right? The next thing that we suggest everyone is, please do not add your age into your CV. By age, I mean don't add your date of birth or these sort of personal information as well. And when you're entering your address as well, try to remove, points like the exact flat number. So just give them a journal location, because you have to still inform the person that you're traveling from this particular location, so that travel distance is not that far, right? But at that point of time, you don't have to provide them with the whole information. And also, guys, please make sure when you have links on your CV, the links are clickable, especially when it is in the PDF form, right? And then I've seen a couple of CVs where individuals are also adding their interest and hobbies and things like that, and that is absolutely not required in this job market. Just stick to the point. Tell them this is the person you are. Your education is there, your experience is there. If you have any certifications, just mention them in a separate section as well. And let's say if you have any publications as well, mention them in a separate section as well. And if you have received any sort of awards, please mention them in a different section. And you know what, most of the companies here, they like to hire individuals who can speak more than one languages. So that could be an advantage point for you. Please do add that in your CV if possible. And at the very end, just write references available on request, and that would be one of the best ways to have CV optimized, where you're speaking a lot, but at the same time you're not making your CV of more than 1.5 page or 1 page. Our journal recommendation is please go for 1 page CV, and that would be the best advice we have given to many of the individuals, and they have been easily able to get interviews after that.
Okay, thank you, Abhishek. So now moving on to Future Connect now, because we've spoken about CVs, we've spoken about skill sets. Now, coming from you, I really want you to be honest with us. How does Future Connect support individuals in expanding their network and also assess hidden job opportunities? Because can you tell us a little bit about Future Connect, and if people are to sign up or to register with Future Connect, what are the benefits they will get?
Sure. So basically, Future Connect training and recruitment is primarily a training provider, an education provider. Our job is to bridge the gap between, the practical side and the theoretical side. So, for instance, you might have like most of the individuals who go through the university, or they take certain type of certifications, they do not include the practical part. Now what happens is, let's say tomorrow you have received a degree, and then day after that you got a job. The first day of the job, when you're starting that job, when you're working on that job, you are confused. Hey, what do I do? How do I do this? I know the theory, I don't know how to implement that. Then that is a very big gap. That is a very big issue. So what we have done is we have added the practical side to it. So instead of just focusing on the theory part, we focused on the part that is required when you are joining the and when you're starting a job, when you're like going into any sort of position. That could be in digital marketing, that could be in accountancy, and different roles in accountancy as well. What would you do on your first day? Can you do that? And we focus on that. We make sure not only the theory part is robust in you, because that is going to get you through those interviews. There might be some tasks as well during those interviews. Will you be able to perform those tasks? This is the gap that we have fulfilled in the market, and this has been going on from over 9 years as well. Actually, this is the 9th year of Future Connect. Next year, it's going to be the 10th anniversary of Future Connect, and we have been bridging this gap from a very long time. And we do know that many individuals are facing this problem. For example, mothers who has taken gap during their pregnancy time, and they're returning back on their jobs. They're finding it hard to get a job because there's a gap in their CV. Now how would you bridge that gap? That is where we come in as well, not just in terms of imparting knowledge, also making sure that they have the practical side covered as well. But we also make sure that they have a little bit of an experience on their CV, and that little bit of experience will take them a long way later down the line. Now, this is what Future Connect does, and we're doing it in marketing, we're doing it in IT side, and we're doing it in accountancy as well. Right.
Beautiful. Congratulations on your anniversary once again. I hope you get to give a lot of awesome goodies from Future Connect. So now talking about the UK job market, like I know that there are some jobs that are very in demand. I know Future Connect is not from the medical aspect, but aside from the medical aspect, because not everybody are interested in being doctors or being carers. How does Future Connect bridge that gap? Okay, first of all, let me ask, what are the very in demand jobs in the UK at the moment? And talking about the courses that Future Connect offers, how does your courses also fit into the high demand jobs required?
Most certainly. So, Future Connect basically offers courses in three areas. But first, let's talk about the UK market. Let's talk about the international market as well, because the same thing has been happening within UK side as well. But within UK, the only thing different is the most number of jobs vacancies are in the healthcare side. So now that is done. The second part is we have these skills like the blue collar, not the white collar ones, but the ones where you require in construction and let's say carpentry, and these sort of skills are also required. But then if we talk about the white collar jobs, we are looking at IT jobs. Now the problem in IT jobs is, I mean, you guys might have heard that in last 6 months, 8 months, over 100,000 individuals have been fired from IT sector. Now you might be thinking, how come individuals in IT sector are being fired and it is still one of the highest demanding job roles in the world? Because when you compare it to accountancy, there has been stability in accountancy sector, to be honest with you. And post pandemic and during pandemic, there has been a tremendous rise in digital marketing jobs as well. Now, apart from that, healthcare has been rising. So these three areas apart from healthcare is what we are teaching. But now in IT side, if we look at, we're focused on the most trending industry, and that is machine learning and AI, because more and more people want to jump into this hot and trending industry after the launch of chat gpt. And we are trying to ensure that people who want to come in from, let's say, they have lost their job, they were developer, they want to gain skills in that area, we are able to help them out as well. So from IT sector, we're focused on the machine learning and AI part. And post pandemic, we have been focusing on, and during the pandemic as well, we have been focusing on the digital marketing. And as you know as well, that accountancy has been the most stable field in long period of time. So we have been focusing on that area as well. And apart from these particular job roles, I believe there are some relevant to the sectors I've already told you about, like business analyst, chef positions, and these sort of positions are also available. But the most demanding ones at this point of time are going to be in machine learning and AI. Yeah.
Okay, that's really helpful. Thank you. We'll take the people on the call now before I proceed on to the next question. So, can we have Corey?
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, this is my question concerning CV revamping. Does Future Connect does that?
Yes, we do that as well.
Okay. Does that cost? How much does that cost? If I don't want to register for courses or just to revamp my CV, so what does that cost?
So basically, what we do is it depends on the sector that you are in, and we specialize in these three sectors. So if you belong to any of these sectors, you can come and book a free consultation, where our consultant is going to look at your CV. They'll guide you how you can make those tiny bits of changes. And if you require any help in terms of recruitment, then we'll be there to help you out with not just revamping your CV, but guiding you in process of how you can make those applications as well.
Okay, thank you so much
No worries.
for that information.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Kurede. Can we have caller?
Okay, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, yeah. I just want to ask question about the job. It's not only in UK. I've been applying for a remote because I love remote job. Most applying for remote job as a product designer of 100, like two of them will call back for meeting for
Okay, Habishak is just trying to ask that he's not currently in the UK, but he has been trying to look for remote
yeah. I'm not
jobs.
currently in UK.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I prefer remote job. So is it the same requirement as on the job, I mean on the site, or there is a little bit different because mostly they reject those people applying for remote job. Is it are they discriminating or what? What happened? Can you give us some insights on that?
Yes, most certainly. And to start off with, I would like to tell you that even we at Future Connect hire from different parts of the world as well. So I would have to say that it depends on company to company. But I have seen that Upwork has been working great for a couple of companies as well. And I believe there has been some new platforms uh, that has been developed very recently where you can you can easily apply for these particular project based positions. And when it comes to hiring individuals from remote locations, I believe it just depends on the skill set and the availability, the time frames as well of the individual. So I don't believe it's a matter of discrimination over here. It is, I think, just about the skill set matching, or it could be the company's preferability, even if they're saying that, hey, we want to hire a person who will be working from home constantly, but then at the same time, there could be an internal catch. No, we want this person to stay in UK, whether that person will be staying at a very remote island in UK. They don't care about that, but that could be one of the reasons why some of the companies, how some of the companies are behaving. So it's just subject to the companies you are applying to be honest, because I have seen a lot of companies hiring like this, and even we do that as well, hire remotely.
Thank you.
thank you. Can we have Michael?
Hi, good evening, everybody. So my question is more like I'm asking for an advice. So I have experience in FMCG, commercial analyst. So when I got to UK, I started applying for jobs. I normally get calls from recruiters just to have a what's it called, a quick chat with me, but they are always discouraged based on the 20 hours issue. But I found a way. I changed my visa, so I have a longer visa now. But I realized that I've done like let's say 3 or 4 interviews. At the end of the day, they'll be like, "You are very good, you are talented," but next thing is that, sorry, you are overqualified or stuff like that. So I don't really know what's going on. So I had to remove all my managerial role from my CVs. So I just want to understand, do you think it's advisable I remove all those managerial roles from my CVs? Maybe that's the issue I'm having. I don't know.
See, first of all, if I was at your position, I would have never hidden my accomplishments. What would have instead done is I would make 10 different CVs for myself. So it is this type of position. The they're hiring for a mid senior position or a senior position. I would give this particular type of CV, and this is also subject to the keywords that has been already optimized for n number of positions. I would have n number of CVs, and then I would constantly apply on these positions again and again and again, because see, it's a game of volume. At the end of the day, you might apply for 100 jobs, you might get uh, let's say 20 interviews if your luck is in favor. But if you apply for, sometimes some people apply for 1,000 jobs as well, and I've seen them not even going for one single interview. Now if that sort of thing happens with you, I would highly suggest just optimize your CV as per keywords. And if, as I mentioned earlier as well, if you're getting that immediate no response, then it's definitely something to do with your CV. So my suggestion is, make sure before you apply, you know which CV you're selecting out of n number of CVs you have built for yourself, and also make sure all the keywords are right then and there as well. And one important thing is, even if you change a lot of things on your CV, are you going to be deleting from your LinkedIn profile as well? So do keep that thing in mind as well. Are you going to alter LinkedIn profile again and again for an individual type of job? Or would it be better if you keep on applying for a particular mid-senior position, or for a particular industry as well? Wouldn't that be helpful? So these are some of the things that I believe you should look at, and it's definitely going to make at least some sort of an impact, and it will ease down your process as well. Yeah.
I think I want to ask a question related to what Michael said, because I quite understand them. To be honest, Abhishek, a lot of people that I know have gone through this challenge. Either they are too overqualified. Take, for example, an ACCA qualified person that came from Nigeria to the UK, or an ICANN, that's Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, that came from Nigeria to the UK. The person has been applying for jobs even as an accounts assistant, because obviously the person is overqualified, but because he or she just needs to get into the workspace, but they keep getting refusal, and some of them also say that they are too overqualified. So now, talking about the part of encouragement, because this really gets to a lot of people, how do you think people can manage the refusal or the disappointment that comes with job search, and what do you think are the best effective ways to apply for jobs?
Uh, to be honest with you, in this regard, I would say you really have to keep a very strong mind when you're applying to these jobs. And one important thing that I have noticed a lot is, when I am posting a lot of job postings on LinkedIn, I am getting CVs which are not even matching the criteria that I am specifying in that job description. So there are so many factors that we cannot even be sure about, that is just the factor, because for each individual that factor is going to be different, right? Now in terms of handling that rejection, obviously you are going to get rejected if you are, let's say I'm hiring for a payroll position, and you don't have the payroll skill set, you're applying as a bookkeeper. Now, that is definitely going towards rejection part as well. So do keep in mind where you're applying as well. You might increase the volume in long run. You might be in hopes that yes, you might get this sort of position even without the skill set as well. And that is what a lot of people have been doing recently. I can tell you that from these the postings that I've been posting recently as well. So yes, rejection is part of life. There is nothing you can do to deny that, and these are the things that are definitely not in your hand. I mean, think of it from this way: when you would run a company, things are going to be in your hand as well. The person who's always going to be sitting in front of you, they will always be nervous, no matter how hard you try to make them comfortable at the end of the day. So yes, please do keep in mind these small things. Don't apply too much as well. Do add some sort of quality, make some certain changes to your this thing cover letter when you're applying for jobs. And if you're not taking that effort, and after not taking that effort, you're looking back and thinking, oh, I've got rejection again and again and again. So is it not possible that you applied to the wrong place? Is it not possible they were looking for this sort of thing? Or is it not possible that there is always a bigger fish in the sea? So let's say if I have 6 years of experience, if you have 8 years of experience, the recruiter is going to prefer someone else over me, right? So these factors are very much unknown in the world. And since the UK market has been open recently, we are seeing a lot of skilled individuals coming up. Now you might not know, but your friend might have secured that interview call. because he has 2 years additional experience in you, both belonging to the same the skill set, right? So it's there are so many variables at play, and the only way to handle rejection would be just be very determined that yes, you're going to get a job one way or the other. You have to make changes. Yes, you will make changes. You have to spend time to make those changes, and you will be doing that. But if you're not doing that, and then you're getting rejected and being sad, then definitely you have not made so much effort to get that sort of a position. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So before I have Kole come up, before I have Kole, Toba, and Toby come up, I want you to talk about how, when, if somebody is interested in working with Future Connect, or if somebody is interested in learning in Future Connect, I know you made mention of Future Connect offers training for machine learning and AI, accounting, digital marketing, and all that. So what does the procedure looks like for people that wants to come on board? And also, for me being your host, I think I should have a coupon code for my audience. What do you think?
Definitely, let's do that. Let's give your audience a coupon code, and I'll give you the URL as well for
Awesome.
specifically for you. How about that?
Okay, that works. That works.
Right. So let me tell you about the process here at Future Connect. Now, as I mentioned previously as well, to one of the questions that was asked to me in regards to how we revamp the CV. So basically, the first stage is to analyze the student, the candidate. We're not just sitting there, hey, no, come train with us. No, it's not going to be a process like that. We first have to gauge as well whether that person is going to be interested in the training or not. Reason being, at the end of the training, we are going to be giving you that experience, and we will be helping you in getting that job as well. If we are going to be working hard on training you, then we expect the same level as well from the students. Now, this sort of a thing is a two-way journey, and in that two-way journey, first we have to assess whether the person will be able to complete this journey or not, right? Once that process is completed, we offer them couple of options. So hey, these are the options, these are the time limits, this is how we're going to be staying with you, and we stay with them whether it's going to be online or it's going to be whether they want to come and study with us in our centers as well. We stay with them. We make sure that every week we're just sending them messages, hey, are you coming to study with us? Why are you not coming to study with us? We're encouraging them to study with us because we want to make sure that the commitment that we have set up with them on the very first day we met them, we have spoken with them, we just want to make sure we're able to fulfill that commitment as well. And this is the type of learning experience that the students go through when they are coming and training with us. So in terms of process, first we are going to have a one to one session with you where we'll show you how the training is going to take place. Along with that, see, the training comes with a cost as well. That is, you everyone knows that. Now, not everyone are able to afford that sort of a cost. We do understand that we have cost of living crisis as well, we have family to manage as well. Now we are there to support you in that regard as well. So apart from that, we might face some issues. Let's say there might be some sort of a family emergency or something like that where you are unable to take the training as well. We support you in that area as well. So yes, no worries, whenever you're free, whenever you have the right state of mind, whenever you can come back, we're there with you. You can continue where you left from. Along with that, we'll sit together, we'll have some catch up sessions as well, so your journey is streamless at the end of the day. Once you complete your training journey with us, your new journey begins with us. And that new journey is going to be in the recruitment side. Now, what we do in recruitment is we first look at your CV again, because this time we're looking at from the perspective of what is available in the market as per the training you're taking, because the training is focused on the particular type of job role that you want to get in the market. So you can go for an account assistant position, yes, we have a dedicated training for that. If you want to go for a different position, let's say bookkeeping or payroll position, yes, we have a training for that. But When you complete the training, we're looking at your CV from the perspective of what is happening today in the market, what sort of job roles are available, whether you should go ahead and get an advanced level based on the market conditions, or whether you should stick to this one, because there are some conditions, there are some things that are not even in our hands as well. So then what we do is we prepare your CV according to those market conditions. Let's say the keywords have changed. Let's say we have to apply in this sector instead of that sector. So we emphasize on things that are most used on that particular sector. We change the description accordingly. Once you're happy with your CV, then we take you ahead and complete the next process, that is the mock interview. Now we are going to be giving you questions, and we are also going to be taking your mock interview as well. Now once you're done with the mock interview, you have already built up that confidence. Now you have the skill set, now you have the confidence, you're ready for the third stage. Now the third stage is where our team is going to be applying for jobs on your behalf, because they have a lot of experience and they make sure that individual goes through interview process. And when you have the CV thing ready, the CV already revamped, updated, done. When your skill sets are there in your mind, done. Your confidence level is extremely high as well, done. Now you're at the interview. Now you're alone giving that interview. We're not there, but we have prepared you in such a way that you will end up taking that position,
Yeah.
because so many things have happened in last 3 months, last 4 months of time, depending on the training, and your mindset has been developed. No matter what sort of question is being asked to you, you will be able to answer it spot on.
Yeah,
And
I
this,
just sorry Abhishek. I just wanted to comment because the reason why I'm really passionate about Future Connect is because Future Connect really got me my first corporate job in the UK, and a lot of people don't know about this opportunity. That's why I'm really big on working with Future Connect and also spreading the word about them. So permit me to share my story because I know people really like to hear real life stories. So it doesn't look like okay, we are trying to sell. No, we are not trying to sell. I'll just call myself an alumni of Future Connect that really wants to help Nigerians or people outside of country that just came into the UK. And again, obviously, I came as a dependent. So after working in the warehouse, I needed to change my career, and then I came across Future Connect. So following what Abhishek said, I'll just try to give my own experience. And I really want to say that Pooja is here. She was the one that helped me with my CV revamping, and she gave me interview questions that I had to read to prepare me for the interview. I remember the first interview that I went for. Questions like, so why did you leave? Because I had Future Connect trainee on my CV, being my first accounting job. And part of what Pooja wrote, or part of what Future Connect said in the PDF for interview question mock-up was, what would you say, what should I say, or what I would say rather, if I was being asked, so why are you leaving your current job? And to be honest, that question came out and then I answered well. Other questions like how interview scenario based questions. So I really want to say that Future Connect is a very good place to study. And one thing I really love about them is that compared to other courses that we do that you have the level one, level two, and if you don't complete your level one, you can always just skip and then move to level two. But with Future Connect, it's really different. So let's say now you have your model one to complete. If you don't complete that course, there is no way you can move on to question two. And knowing that though I came from an accounting background, but I never practiced, and so I was able to learn about Sage, QuickBooks, and the new job that I got, trust me, it was Sage accounting software that they were using. Give me invoices to work with. That was how I was able to know a lot about UK filling stations, a lot of companies I never knew existed. So Future Connect is the way to go. And I also want to say a big thank you openly here to the trainers most times because they close by 5. So let's say, for example, I finish my training because I finished a particular module around 4:59. If I should send a WhatsApp message to one of their team members that I want to move on to the next course, they don't mind staying with me till 5:15, 5:30 to ensure that the next course is open. I just wanted to share that testimony about being an ex alumni or being an alumni of Future Connect rather. So we are ending the section very soon, like I said. So let me have Kunle so that I can ask question.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mrs. Damilola. To be sincere, I'm very happy to be here this evening and also for this privilege you are actually giving to me. Yes, I'm like your story. I'm also a dependent here in the UK and I've tried my possible best, like the risk background I have in Nigeria, the collection, the recovery aspect of it. But all things are not working the way I expected. It don't point to a particular time. I wasn't like regretting. Is it that no, I'm not making a regret of why coming to UK because I always get rejection every time. Now I have a little experience in data analysis in Nigeria. Now I want to go back fully. So my question is, Future Connect, are they into data analysts that can enroll for it from their own platform? Thank you.
Hi. Yes. Can you hear me? All right. Perfect. Yes, that's a good question. And yes, we do have a dedicated course apart from machine learning and AI. That is a separate course in itself, where you will gain skills to become a data analyst, learning a lot of tools and working on a lot of custom data as well. And we can definitely speak about that. And the process is going to remain the same for you. But I would suggest when you're coming in and going with this process, use the code that Damilola is going to give you later down the line. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. I will definitely share the code and also the links before we go. Can we have Kunle, did he answer your question just to be sure?
Yes, I think yes. He said they do. Yeah.
Okay, great. Can we have Toba? Then we move on to the last person, Toby. Hi,
Yeah,
Toba.
good afternoon. Yeah, hi. Good afternoon. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for this opportunity to for this workshop. Yeah, my question is, as a freelancer in IT, and I'm focused in software testing, what are the chances to get higher as a contract employee rather than a permanent position in Future Connect?
So you mean that you will be working with us? We are hiring a system testing position. Is that the question, or you need help in terms of getting hired in a corporate sector?
Yeah, in the corporate sector and in Future Connect as well.
Unfortunately, we're not hiring in that particular field, but we can definitely have a look at your CV and give you some feedback on that. What would be the best way to get hired in that area? However, I do have to inform you that it's a little bit of a risky market these days. Individuals who are moving into any sort of IT sectors, they have this job uncertainty. And by these IT sectors, I mean not in these ML and AI positions at the moment. I've seen a lot of job uncertainty in the job market. What's happening is people are getting hired and then they're getting no salary at the end of the day as well. So it has become a little bit of a risky market. Depends on the company that you're getting hired at as well. They might lure you in for a very nice package as well. But this has been a common issue in this sector. Recently, this has been happening. Some cases I've seen myself, and we can definitely look into your CV. But this is something that I would suggest that you keep in mind. Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Can we have the last person, Toby?
Thank you very much. My question quickly is this: currently, I'm in Nigeria. and I plan, coming to the UK very soon, which I've started processing my visa. But the question is this: I'm an educationist. I studied mathematics education, and I plan to come over to the UK to work. But I've been hearing all these things everyone is saying. I would like to ask, Future Connect, if they have a course that can develop me, in that area, in the area of education, maybe using AI, any tools that's be shaping my skills in, getting a job in the UK as soon as possible. So I would like to know what are the courses that I can take to, you know, to shaping my skills, to make me, hot or demanding in the labor market. Thank you.
Hi, yes, that's a really good question. And the specific area that we're looking for, it's going to be in AI or marketing. You said
Oh, I would prefer AI.
AI. Okay. Uh, Let me tell you about our master project. We have two master projects in data science and AI training, and these two master projects are something that are really hard to find out there in the market. Like, generally, what people think is, oh, hey, coding is super easy. You can ask ChatGPT and get it over with. But let me tell you this: these master projects. One of the project that I'm talking about, it took us over 45, 48 hours of time to compute that, and it is an AI playing Super Mario game in itself. It is the video is available on our website. You can check anytime as well. And when you show this sort of a thing to the recruiter, you're able to tell them that yes, you can operate in a dynamic environment as well. So if it's not going to be Mario tomorrow, you can create any sort of application that uses the Q learning, this the Q learning model as well. Right now, apart from that, in terms of the education sector, we don't have a particular project in that, but we have this another final project that uses the recently launched LangChain library, and we are using that without integrating the open AI, and that way you will be able to create amazing applications without even paying a single pound. And that is the highlight of our course, because out there in the world, if you google anytime, you can look at the videos as well, YouTube videos. Everyone is focused on how to easily get the job done, and we're focused on how you can save money so you can practice yourself at home as well. So the more number of projects you will be building at the end of the day, the higher your chances of getting hired will be in UK, because you're showing your projects to the recruiter before the interview, right? And if it is of that particular extent, then definitely your chances are going to be higher, and this is how we will be able to help you out as well.
Beautiful. Thank you. So, final question, which is obviously the last words from, not the last words, because we might have you back on the show anytime soon. So, I just want you to advise people. So, while in the waiting phase of getting their dream job, what do you advise people to do in that instance? And then also, can you just share one or two words of encouragement or your final words before you leave?
Definitely. So, let me start off by telling you that I came to this country as a student as well, and I've gone through the struggles that you might be going, or you might have gone through as well. Or in case of Oluwatobi, he might be going through those struggles as well. But the thing that I advise is try to find a really good mentor, even if you have to work unpaid for a limited amount of time and you can manage your expenses very easily. Try to find a mentor who can guide you and help you in reaching the area where reaching a particular job profile, or let's say a position out there that that you have been dreaming of. Because the value of the education, the value of the experience that that guy is going to bring in, no matter how much you spend in any university, it is going to be still much more valuable to you, because that person is not a lecturer who's teaching to 50 students, 20 students at a time. That person is going to be working with you hand in hand, and he will be guiding you through your journey. He's going to be the best support you can get at the end of the day, but you have to support yourself as well. So yes, do get a part-time position. If not in your old field, that is still fine for a limited time frame, but just try to make sure that before this thing, your education is over. Let's say you're coming in for masters. Before your master's education is over, try to get at least 3 to 6 months of internship time as well on your CV in the particular place, sorry, in a particular role that you want to pursue later down the line. So that would be my advice to everyone, that this is what I believe should be the way to go ahead. Because for only for few years of time, like 1 year maximum, 1.5 year, 2 years maximum, not more than that, but still try to get a mentor. The moment you have a mentor, your life will become very easy.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining this section. I will just give a recap of all that we've discussed so that you can just have an idea of what we've said so far. Thank you so much, Abhishek. And apologies for people that we can't take their questions because of time. So we spoke about essential skills and attributes that UK employers are looking out for. And I said that most of the time they're looking for skills that are really relevant to the role that they're applying for, meaning that you need to be able to have the skills that they require. And if you look at some job openings, they're always writing the skills that they require, whether you should be proficient in so software, or you should be a very good team player. So it's advisable you put that in your CV. We also spoke about crafting standout CVs and covers letters for the UK market. We spoke about the importance of you removing some certain things that are not required in your CV, like taking away your age, taking away your hobbies, taking away some things that are not required for your present job role. And we also highlighted that it's really important for you to highlight just the beneficial skills, because they are machines just like ATS software that can easily spot out CVs that are not really good, and then that's why you have automatic refusal, you have automatic rejections. Then we also spoke about navigating interviews with confidence and showcasing your unique value, meaning that you have to be very confident and you have to know what you're doing. And thanks to Future Connect, if you work with them, they would teach you how you need to position yourself. They would give you mock interviews so that you would be very prepared when you want to go for your interview. Then also we spoke about building a powerful professional network. So you have to have relationships with people. You have to be able to connect with people. And for those that are in the UK, going for events are really a good way for you to network. LinkedIn is also a very good way for you to network with people. Then finally, we spoke about overcoming challenges. As an international professional in the UK, we advise that it's just very good for us to be patient and for us not to downplay our values. Yes, we need a job, but we should not downplay our values ever, because an employer is still going to need your service one way or the other. So thank you so much, Abhishek. And then I would say that if you really want to learn more about Future Connect, you can head over to their website at fctraining.org, where you have all the information you need, the courses they offer, and their website is really loaded. And if you also want to book a free consultation, they have their phone number there as well. All you have to do is just make a call, and then you have a training booked for you. Finally, because Future Connect is very nice, and probably because they are celebrating the anniversary next week or before the end of the month, they have decided to give a referral code. So if you want to learn, or if you want to have a course with Future Connect, they are willing to reduce the price and also give you professional treatment, like VIP treatments. So you'll just have to go to, but it has to do with a special URL code. I might probably put that in my profile, but the website is referral.fctraining.org, referral.fctraining.org, and the referral code is DFY. As simple as that, DFY. So thank you everybody for joining. Thank you, Abhishek, for joining and the entire team. I hope you enjoyed your time here.
Oh, definitely. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you. I don't know if you're still at work, but thank you for staying this late.
Still at work.
So please, yes, I'm seeing the love emoji come up. So please put enough emojis, love, clap if you like the section, and also show some love to Future Connect Training. They are very, very professional, and I'm really sure you will love working with them. So thank you, everybody. Till I come your way next time, do have a fantastic evening.